Facts. Hold on a second. Hello?
Excuse me, my math friend. Why must you dedicate an entire episode to that talentless hack rabbit?
Daffy? How did you get my phone number?
That is not the issue, mon frere. What is the issue is that I don't recall getting a list of my own 3 years ago when I had my 80th anniversary.
But Daffy, this show wasn't around 3 years ago.
Don't argue with me, you despicable ringtail.
Okay, look. How about for your birthday next year, I do a whole list about you? Does that sound fair?
Well, you drive a hard bargain there, Mr. Ton. Make sure you get some excellent facts about me, and I will be calling you every few months to remind you. Verbal contracts are binding, you know, and I will be sending this message to my attorneys, by the way. Toodles.
Oh, what just happened?
It's a raccoon with a talk show slinging culture facts you might not know. From the biggest flops to the greatest hits, this is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hello everyone, I'm Beaton, and welcome back to Trash Can Tidbits. Last week I asked the question, which pioneering jazz guitarist was the inspiration for the character of Django? The answer is Django Reinhardt. A pioneer of such genres as gypsy jazz and swing, where guitar is the lead instrument, Reinhardt was a French Romani artist that made it big in America and to this day remains the most popular French jazz musician. Despite the loss and use of two of his fingers in a fire, he managed to play extremely well and paved the way for future jazz guitarists, including Kenny Burrell and Les Paul. Now, this week on Trash Can Tidbits, I am upholding my end of an unintentional verbal contract. Last year, when I did my themed list on Bugs Bunny for his 80th anniversary, you may recall that I got an unexpected phone call from none other than Daffy Duck. Today is his birthday, as he first appeared on screen on April 17, 1937. I am now legally bound by his attorneys to do an episode just for him, so let's get this over with. Let's get started with fact number 1. Did you know that Daffy's first cartoon appearance also marked the first time Mel Blanc played Porky Pig? Porky's Duck Hunt, released in 1937, was the first of many cartoons that paired Daffy and Porky together. They would become a semi-team in the beginning. As I mentioned, Porky's original voice actor was a real stutterer who couldn't control his stutter, so Blanc was brought in. Gotta be a real challenge talking to yourself when you're playing multiple characters, am I right? Fact 2. Did you know that Daffy's lisp was supposedly based on the man who originally produced the Merry Melodies and Looney Tunes cartoons? His name was Leon Schlesinger, and he actually appeared on screen in one Daffy cartoon called You Ought to Be in Pictures. Daffy was originally created without a lisp, but the animators gave him one basically to troll Schlesinger. His lisp, however, wasn't as pronounced as Daffy's, so it's unknown to me what his reaction to it was. Fact 3. Did you know that Daffy Duck was Mel Blanc's longest-running character he ever played? He began in the aforementioned Porky's Duck Hunt in 1937 and continued right up until his death in 1989. To this day, Blanc holds the all-time record for voicing one character at 52 years, with Clarence Nash as Donald Duck coming just behind him at 51 years. That really makes their crossover scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit even more special, doesn't it? Fact 4. Did you know that Daffy was the first cartoon character to have an animated CG short based on a hit record? In the 1940s and 50s, Mel Blanc recorded, in character, a song called Daffy's Rhapsody, released through Capitol Records. Over 60 years later, Warner Brothers found the track and put it together with an animated short with CGI animation. The same thing was done with a second Blanc record in which he played Tweety and Sylvester, appropriately called I Taught a Putty Tat. Fact 5. Did you know that contrary to popular belief, Mel Blanc did not use the same voices when playing Daffy and Sylvester? It's true that both characters have lisps and Daffy's voice is slightly sped up. Sylvester's voice, however, is closer to Mel's own manner of speaking, minus the lisp of course, but he played him with a more sloppy sounding lisp. Even when you slow Daffy's voice down, it does sound a little different. Fact 6. Did you know that Duck Dodgers was originally shown as an accompanying short film in front of Star Wars during its initial run? A big inspiration for Star Wars was George Lucas's love of classic space adventures like Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon. It seemed natural to have Duck Dodgers parody that, and Lucas was such a big fan of that cartoon. Duck Dodgers has since become one of Daffy's recurring characters, even getting his own sequel, Duck Dodgers and the Return of the 24th and a Half Century, as well as appearing as his alter ego in Looney Tunes Back in Action, and of course, his own TV series. Fact 7. Did you know that the cartoon Duck Amuck ranks at number 2 on animation historian Jerry Beck's list of the 1,000 greatest cartoons of all time? As I mentioned before, Duck Amuck is the second of 3 Looney Tunes cartoons to be inducted to the Library of Congress, the others being One Froggy Evening at number 3 and What's Opera Doc at number 1. The cartoon was even good enough to have a video game based on it for the Nintendo DS, making Daffy, to my knowledge, the first Looney Tunes character to have a video game based on a specific cartoon. This even includes the Duck Dodgers video game for the Nintendo 64. Fact 8. Did you know that Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny weren't rivals in the very beginning? If you really want to get technical, the characters first appeared together in the 1943 cartoon Porky's Big Feet. In it, Daffy and Porky are attempting to escape from a fancy hotel without paying their bill, eventually getting captured by the burly manager and locked inside. Daffy makes a phone call to Bugs asking for a way out, only for Bugs to be revealed in the next room commenting that he tried the same escape attempts unsuccessfully. The rivalry between the two characters would come to fruition years later in Chuck Jones's hunting cartoons of the 1950s, and they have been frenemies ever since. Fact 9. Did you know that Daffy Duck to this day has never been nominated for an Oscar? This might be further proof of the rivalry between him and Bugs. Duck Dodgers and Duck Amuck were screened but ended up not being nominated. In fact, only 5 Looney Tunes cartoons have won Oscars, and they are, in chronological order, Tweety Pie, For Sentimental Reasons, Speedy Gonzales, Birds Anonymous, and Nighty Night Bugs. Fact 10. Did you know that despite Bugs being a more popular character than Daffy, Daffy still very much has his fans and is still a favorite character among animation buffs? While Bugs is more restrained in attacking his enemies, he will only do so when provoked. Daffy will just go to town on his enemies and mess with them whenever and however he chooses. For that reason, and the fact that he predates Bugs by 3 years, Daffy edges out Bugs as the real star of Looney Tunes. Wait, do I really have to say that? Ugh, fine. Daffy Duck is the real star of Looney Tunes. And here's this week's trivia question. While Daffy's first official appearance was in 1937's Porky's Duck Hunt, he didn't get his name until a little later. It was one specific animator, though, that took that design and gave Daffy his current look that he still has today. This animator also contributed to the creation of Porky Pig and Tweety, and was known for his surrealist approach to cartoons, best put to use in shorts such as Porky and Wacky Land. My question to you is, which Warner Brothers animator created Daffy Duck's signature look? And there we go for this week. Thank you, Daffy, for not taking me to court, and happy 84th birthday. I apologize for not being around when you had your 80th, but better late than never. Please don't sue me if you hate this list. And I hope you all out there enjoyed this list, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell for future videos. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.